You know, don't know why I put myself through this torture, people. I just don't know why. Why? 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 Why do I put myself through all this? Seriously, folks. So we'll just hang out here for a couple of minutes and we'll see if anybody pops in and says anything about this or wants to hear anything about this. Because, it was all right, Thomas. It was okay until the last 20 minutes of it, when it kind of just dumped all over the that cannon. And actually, I actually have it because, come on now. Now it's the Romulans' fault for keeping Earth slow in progress. Really, the Romulans' fault? I will say, Khan's descendant is kind of growing on me. Got some nice little nipples there. Saw that. No, what? Yeah, not bad. But come on now. Yes, I heard her say that most cars are privately owned, which is basically a they're all privately owned at some aspect, not most, all. Even if they're owned by a car rental, it's owned by the car rental place. You're just renting it from them, so it's not like they're.
Hello.
Hello, Philip.
What?
Hello, Father Stump. This. If it wasn't a Star Trek episode, I would say it was decent.
Okay. I mean, that was kind of boring. I don't
Because
get it. I mean, you said that everyone saw it, said this was supposed to explain all the changes, and it explains absolutely nothing.
you didn't catch the part where the Romulan says that they're the ones that are interfering with Earth, slowing them down. You didn't catch where she said that Khan was supposed to do the eugenics war in 1992, but this is well past 92 and Khan's still a little kid.
Yeah, I did catch that, but I mean, it doesn't really
It,
still explain much. It's
oh,
just there. It's just a bunch of retconning, and
it's shitting all over established canon.
I mean, it wasn't a very good episode.
It was crap episode again, shitting all over TOS canon.
I agree. I mean,
There's no excuse for it. They could have sat there if they were going to do their time travel bullshit. They could have went back to the 70s, early
yes,
80s to
yeah.
have Khan as a kid.
Well, that would make more sense. It makes zero sense why he's a kid in the 21st century for some reason.
Yeah, no sense because he's already left Earth at this point and was on the Botany Bay.
Wait, I mean, the entire eugenics war has already happened, and World War III happened. So I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So I mean, why would he be a kid now in the 21st century? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, she said she was there for what, 30 years? So she slowed down the con program. I mean, what?
Yeah, none of it makes sense. And why
But
did she
but
make?
but in
Why
season
did she?
1, Pike was talking about the eugenics wars and World War III happening. They talked about the Khan, and we saw the folder for the Khan project, so that we know that happened. And we saw, and everyone in her timeline knows about Khan, so they know that that happened during the eugenics war. So I mean, it still doesn't make any sense that I mean, they're kind of just erasing what they just did in the first season too.
Well, Thomas, it's still, yeah. Spend money on making Toronto look like in the '70s. Well, they could have picked any small town up there that'd still look like it was back there and say it was Toronto.
Project Khan
And
was Picard season 2. All right, so I'm like screwing up like all the different series, but still, I mean, when Pike went and was talking to those people and explaining Earth's history, um, got the full story of what was going on, and it still wouldn't make sense that everyone um knew about Khan in her timeline, and I think the folder
again,
was dated in the 90s.
another crap episode that fucks with everything because nobody bothers. Nobody's even bothered to watch the original series. I don't think. I don't think any of them have seen the original series and have no idea when things are supposed to take place.
I mean, the only thing I think it explains is the engineer and why they introduced her in the first episode, just so they could do this with her in this episode. Otherwise, the story wouldn't make sense. They would have nobody to go to in that time period. So she's the MacGuffin character to make.
And where have we heard this storyline before? When they found Data's head in a cave?
Well, I
What
mean,
did
yeah,
they
but
do? They went back in time and they got a hold of Guinan.
that's
Because
true.
this is a rehash of that freaking.
Well, I mean,
Next
it's kind of
gen.
a rehash of any of the timeline of the time travel stories that change the timeline. So I mean, it's not like they haven't repeated the story several times now.
But TOS is completely wiped out now at this point if the whole con project was postponed. If any little thing's going to change time, then TOS can't happen the way it did because the whole eugenics war has been pushed off decades, which means what? The eugenics war is the cause for World War III?
Yeah, but it didn't though, because Pike was talking about it happening in the 90s.
Yeah, but this episode that Romulan specifically said Khan was already supposed to have done what he was supposed to have done in 1992. But now, for some reason, Khan becomes the biggest threat to the Romulan Empire, according to that Romulan.
Yeah, but then even if they did it like that, they would have to so late. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you're tired, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean that episode comes putting me to sleep. I mean, even if
But
they
how
did,
does Khan become the biggest threat to the Romulan Empire?
because even if she went back 30 years, if she like was slowed down 30 years ago from making it happen, it would change the timeline then, and Pike wouldn't have remembered it. So in Lon's timeline, it shouldn't have been that way anyway. So I mean, it's like all of a sudden things just started changing at this point in this episode. So I mean, it makes zero sense. It doesn't even fit in their own canon of the series right now. I think they just wanted to do a stupid backstory for Lon. Well, obviously they wanted to do a backstory for Lon, but I mean, it's completely nonsensical. It
And they
doesn't fit
wanted to
anywhere in the canon of Star Trek.
And they wanted a reason to kill Kirk.
Well, I mean, the second he was brought back in time, I knew he was going to die because that's how they always fix the timeline. Is the person that's not supposed to be there has to die. So that wasn't much of a surprise. Kurt was kind of a douche anyway, so kind of glad they killed this version.
Yeah, but he's not really dead anyway, so the douche version will be back.
You're assuming they're saying Earth united against Khan helps them start everything. Well, all right, so 2000.
Hell, Krish.
So, I don't know, and
Yeah, but that don't make sense either, because even with Earth uniting to go against Khan, then they still had a World War III afterwards. So that that can't be the thing either.
But I mean, okay, so it's 20. The episode is what, 2020 modern day, right? 2023
Yep.
or so. So let's say in 20 years, that's 2040s. So there's not enough time for all the eugenics wars, World War III, and First Contact to line up either. So I mean,
No.
everything's changed now.
Yeah, the whole thing is the whole canon is thrown out the window just because of this.
So I mean, I guess you could say this is their way of rebooting the entire series, the entire franchise, then, because I mean, there's no way they can make it make sense.
When I said for the previous week that what was going to happen tonight was going to screw everything over, this episode proved me right, because it does screw everything over.
Maybe. Because they could just ignore this episode going forward, and everything will still happen the way it's supposed to.
They keep ignoring everything else they've done, so what the hell? But
well, I mean, they completely wiped out their first season, so.
And as to go on, they're building up to a big war with the Gorn. That screws complete canon too.
That's what I assume from the title that's on the last episode.
Because they even said it at the end, after Spock had stole the Enterprise somehow before he stole the Enterprise, that Starfleet said that he'd helped them out. At least they could focus in on the upcoming war with the Gorn. So we already knew they were going to have a fight with the Gorn after the first episode. Or that's what they're building towards.
They could surprise us and make a peace treaty.
Yeah,
but I don't know how he enjoys this stuff. I mean, he loves TOS.
Yeah, I don't know how old Salty Tricker enjoys this one. I don't see how. He's the one that rails all the time about any little thing that broke canon with TOS, and he's sucking up to this entire show now.
This one just destroys all of canon. So
this
one, I mean, it's basically a soft reset, a hard reset on absolutely everything.
Telling you, somebody's paying him money somewhere to say good things about it.
See, if he was getting paid money, he wouldn't be shilling so hard for.
Yeah, Thomas. Yes, Thomas. Salty does have it in his mind that it's a different universe. The problem is
this episode for him will confirm it's a newer universe. I'm assuming.
The problem is the producers, the writers, and everybody else keep saying this is Prime timeline.
Well, it is. It's just the new changed Prime timeline now because they just changed everything.
If they would actually come right on out and say this was a different universe, then I could see it better. I could enjoy the thing better. But when they keep telling me that it's the original Prime timeline, no, it pisses me off. Don't blow smoke up my ass.
I mean, they're never going to say it outright, and even if they did, it wouldn't make me enjoy the show any more than it does because I don't like what they've done with all the changes. So, I mean, even the stories are not even that good. They're pretty poorly written. It's felt like I mean, it's kind of felt like how what the Starfleet Academy show is going to be like, just a bunch of like young kids, just a lot of just annoying relationship stories. I just didn't care about the Kirk Lon story at all. I was just hoping they would get to it faster.
You just wanted to see if he'd boner. Which that's even out of her character. All this episode. Her feelings, that's not her. At least that's not how they portrayed her all season 1.
No, not really. I don't really remember how they portrayed her in season 1. I didn't watch most of season 1. I watched the first like couple episodes and then stopped watching halfway through the season.
Basically a hard ass all through it. Now she has feelings. And Thomas brings up Pike riding a horse. Yeah, that's a Kirk thing, not a Pike thing. They're trained.
Pike had a
trained
horse in that.
Well, that's
episode.
true. He did have a horse, Thomas, so he could have been a horse rider too. Maybe it's all Starfleet captains ride horses. I don't know. Except for Picard. Picard's the only oddball out. He didn't have a horse.
I don't hate all the windows. It just makes it obvious that it's not the same ship. And I don't see why they would get rid of all the windows once Kirk takes over the ship. That makes no sense.
He's just mad it's not the Fat D. He'd love the show if it was the D flying around.
No,
everywhere. Don't even have to have crew. Just let the D fly.
I still can't stand that engineer. She's apparently just a super kleptomaniac too. So some really honorable people in Starfleet nowadays.
That's right. Maybe they're going to have a refit of the Enterprise to make it not as fancy and everything else.
Smaller, make it shittier.
Yeah. I don't know.
Tim Myers is in the back room.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is?
I have no idea who that is. You said on your left, so it's got to be somebody that knows Matthew.
Is it?
I have no idea who it is.
I have no idea who it is. I normally don't let anybody I don't know up on there because as soon as you do, they usually flash porn or some crap.
Yeah, I don't want to see your Diglett. Yeah, the Enterprise had a refit, making it inferior to the Strange New Worlds one, which doesn't make any sense. So,
yes, you got my name. Oh, fuck! It's Tim Talk.
Oh,
what the hell, dude? You didn't know who I was?
You're not the last name.
You're my homie G. You know that.
I know, but I'm not used to seeing the last name.
Okay, I wanted to show up. Sorry for interrupting. You're my boy, so I wanted to show up for you tonight, man.
No. As soon as you said the 2 hour later, I knew exactly who it was. I'm just not used to the Myers there.
Yeah, sorry, that's my code name. No, but D's just my homie G, man. I wanted to be here for you tonight, so that's why I'm popping in. I won't be here for like super late, but I just wanted to show respect because you're my homie G.
I have to get sleep tonight because I have a horde battle tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and Dathomir or like Exegol? What's going on?
7 Days to Die.
7 Days to Die. No, Deej is one of my homie G's, and he's one of my closest friends, so that's why I'm showing up tonight, man. Yeah, I showed up. You're my friend, so that's why I'm here.
I forced myself to stay awake to watch this Strange New Worlds episode. And...
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, Deej is a good dude, and he I don't know why you aren't at 1,000, my man.
Because
What
I really
the hell?
don't
What
care.
is going on, my friend?
I really don't care. That's why.
Yeah. No, we got to get you to 1K. You deserve it. The Bonnie costume and everything.
We don't need to get me to 1K because then people expect me to be regular. I don't want to be regular. I'm just doing this for the hell of it.
Yeah. No, it showed up because you're my friend, and I wanted to see you hit the 1K mark. And I think what are you at right now?
807.
807. So let's get this man to 900 by tonight. I think.
Yeah, there's like 8 people in the room. That's not happening.
Yeah, there's only 3 watching right now. I don't think we're getting anywhere tonight. Everybody was smart and went to bed.
I don't know. Well, I'm here, so let's get it going, my man. Let's make this.
I did notice Anzo wants me to review the Walking Dead series with him now.
Gotcha.
Since he figured out I'm one of the few that's watching it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think about the new Superman casting?
I have no idea. I haven't kept up on it because I've been too busy playing 7 Days to Die.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good casting. If you watch The Marvelous Miss Maisel, did you ever watch that?
Nope.
Dude, I highly recommend it. It just this is I know geeks and cameras would call it woke, but it's done right because because of the time period, comedians, women comedians couldn't be funny or just say stuff. So it was done really well. So that chick is Lois Lane. She's really attractive and has a double D rack. She actually did show it on for all you perverts. You can look it up online. She showed her rack. But anyways, the guy
for the perverts, I just show them this.
Yeah. But the guy playing Superman now is 6'4". He needs to hit the gym. But the dude is 6'4". He actually has a lot of acting experience, unlike Halle Bailey that played, Ariel. He wasn't like a race swap character. He actually put in his work. So, the James Gunn, I don't specifically like James Gunn, but Guardians of the Galaxy is probably one of the better trilogies of all time. And the word of the mouth, that's why that movie made money. That's why the third one made money. It's not excellent, but it was the word of mouth that made money. And I'm not a geeks and gamers person. They're not my favorite, and I think Deej knows that. I think they bring up some valid stuff, but I think they're hyperbolic about a lot of their stuff, what they say. I really do think that, but I don't hate them. I can have a conversation with them and be realistic about it. And I think Deej knows that about me, and I know that about him. And so it's kind of one of those things, man, Deej, that, you're one of my homie G's, and, we're looking at this new phase of DC, right? I don't know, man. It's your podcast. Whatever you want to do, I support.
I don't know. We were just talking about the Strange New World episode because it's my review of it.
Oh, you talking about Star Trek?
Yeah, I was reviewing. Hey, Pop Culture Arabic.
What up,
yes, Thomas? At least Khan was from India this time. That's true.
Rock
they got that one right this time.
Yeah.
All
right.
So
it's nice to see the temporal shit still hanging around since Enterprise. Whoopee. We had enough of that in Enterprise. We don't need all these temporal freaking stories again.
these side stories. Like I watched Neurotic. Like he's been doing like Neurotic, man. He's been like doing these excellent breakdown videos. Like I noticed, like because he's trying to beat Dan Bask or whatever, really good singer. So they're competing against each other. But like Neurotic has been on top of his game. But then I've been watching Critical Drinker too. He breaks down his videos. Like I don't agree with everything he says, but he's funny. He's really funny because he does like parody and just breaks down things and makes jokes on them. So I think that's one of those things that it's very important to understand that like some of these like prominent figures, like yeah, they give valid points, but sometimes they're being hyperbolic or they're making comedy about something. They don't really like. Sure, something can be seen as trash, right? But I think there's a little element of comedy behind their the way they talk about it is, but also the fact that sometimes it's always to me some of this is reeled back. I don't think it's that hyperbolic. I don't agree with everything they say. I think they say stuff for comedy's sake. And because there is like, we know how Hollywood thinks, right? But then again, I'm just like, okay, it's not that hyperbolic all the time, right? So I'm not calling. Go ahead. Sorry.
You've taken us off the Star Trek topic again.
My bad, Ben. My bad. Go ahead.
So, tonight's episode, folks, this is what we learned. Khan's descendant has the hots for Kirk now. Yes, she has the hots for Kirk. Even though Kirk has no idea who she is now. And, yeah, we do time travel. Romulans are slowing the progress of Earth in the past. Bunch of bullshit. Total bullshit. Seriously, folks.
Look, I mean, I just feel like the entire episode was completely contrived just to tell the story. I mean, I understand the beginning where they were sent to, Ontario to see the bomb, but then all of a sudden they go to Vermont, and then that just happens to be where the cold fusion reactor is.
No, they went back. They didn't explain to it, but they went back.
I mean,
to Toronto.
Go back.
Well, they didn't.
I mean, it still doesn't make any sense that they just get a watch and they're literally just walking around town waiting for it to light up. I mean, that just makes zero sense, and it's just completely contrived that even would happen that way.
It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen this episode, and yes, it shit all over the can again. And if anybody tries to tell you this is prime timeline, they're full of shit. They're completely full of shit, people.
Yeah, I see. Like, is it like I'm not like a canon person. I'm someone that's trying to understand this, and I'm trying to learn from it. Like, I know Star Trek is very visceral and important, and the thing is, what I'm seeing is it being constantly bastardized. Right? That's what you're talking about, Deej and Cinnabon. It's being bastardized, right? Like similar to what it was like if we're looking at like the Jar Jar Abrams stuff, right? And not only did he ruin Star Wars, he ruined Star Trek, right? We can all kind of agree on that, right, Deej?
I guess, yeah.
Myra Burnett also said that too. So it's kind of one of those things that I'm trying to understand, and I'm looking at it. I want it to heal itself, and like we all want to. Like I know
it cannot heal itself because we have too many writers nowadays that don't know what the hell they're doing. They just fucking write shit that they want to try to push some bullshit story on you, and it's ruining everything. And it's no wonder people don't want to watch TV anymore. It's no wonder nobody wants to watch movies anymore, because they're putting out crap. And hello, Parrot Head.
What's up, Parrot Head? How's it going, man? Yeah,
And
no, no thing
it
is,
will be interesting to see if Salty sits there and says this is such a good episode tomorrow.
No, it will. He will.
yeah,
Looking
another
forward.
thing is too, like I was watching the whole Chris Gore stuff with like, putting Star Wars on trial. I think there's a lot of good things that are going on with that. And they're like
I don't know.
supposed
I've already gave up on Star Wars. I don't pay attention to any of that anymore.
okay. Well,
I've had my fill of that crap too, and it's like, no, I can't watch that shit no more. It's dead to me. There was only 3 movies.
I think a main problem with all of this is that they keep doing prequel shows too. And I mean, if they put this in a time period, after Voyager somewhere, I mean, you could fit all the stuff into the story and not have it completely ruin everything. So, I mean, basically,
except the time travel bit.
Well, I mean, they could even do that and just have a rewrite time from that point on. I mean, it would still destroy canon, but it would be a little more easy to swallow. It was just a brand new crew on some other ship too. I don't see why they have to keep going back to legacy characters and completely rewriting their history. It makes absolutely no sense. I think that's one of the biggest pushbacks that people have is that, I mean, if you're going to if you want to tell original stories, just make an original series that's not based on people that we already know and characters we've come to actually, really like.
Well, I think in their mind they're going for legacy characters because they're hoping that's what's going to draw in some of the old fans.
Well, it's exactly what they're doing. But
and
the problem,
it's like, no, it's driving us away even more.
Right.
Well, the thing is, like, also Deej, like, yeah, they're trying to bring in OG characters, but they're not though. They're pushing the OG characters away, right? Like the EU and everybody else. They're trying to bring in the new fans that don't actually watch this stuff. And like me and you and everybody else in the podcast and everyone in the chat are like, who are they making this for? Because those people are not listening right now. Like, we obviously love Star Wars, but the fact is,
I don't.
Okay, well, I don't love Star Wars anymore. I agree with you on that fact, right? But the thing is, now I'm just like, bro, who's this made for? I just like, this is not made for Star Wars fans like you, Deej. Like,
you want to know what all this shit's made for? You want to know what all this shit's made for? These writers are making it for themselves. That's it.
The activists are making
they're making it for themselves, and they are the activists. They're making it for themselves to make themselves feel good and say, "Look what we did," and then they tune out and don't listen to any of the backlash to it because they think, well, they're just hateful people, so they don't matter.
Bigots and racists. That's what they say. We used to date someone like that, right? Like that's what they say. They call you a bigot and a racist, even though you know about the lore. You were there from day one. I'm just like, and I asked them from day one.
I wasn't there for day one. I wasn't.
Yeah, but you pretty much were though. Like they don't know. Like they only attach themselves on this brand. It's like, oh, I like Star Wars, but like when I check them on D,
no, I'm not talking Star Wars though. I'm on Star Trek.
Okay, sorry, but
see, I think that I'm pretty sure they're right. I mean, when you look at what all the comments on that are coming out as far as like other YouTubers, it's the younger woke crowd that loves this shit. And that's who they're writing it for, because they know they have to bring in new fans because otherwise the franchise won't survive after all of us die. But I mean, it's still not going to survive because unfortunately the crowd that they're writing it for just move on to something new after a few years anyway. So it's going to be
well, not only that, but since they won't show us the actual ratings for these shows, we know it's in the tank. We know it's.
Oh yeah. No, you're right about that. Did you see the ratings for Secret Wars? It was hugely. It's like one of the biggest shows down on ratings in history for Disney.
I have no idea because I don't have Disney anymore, so I never saw any of the Secret Wars yet. I haven't seen any of that. I'm kind of, who cares?
Yeah, that's the thing too. It just like. we're in such a like Mandalorian season 3, Mandalorian season 2 was like the pinnacle for Disney. But why did season 3 get a low? It was low ball. Like, bro, those numbers went way down.
Well, I can
Way
tell you
down.
why. I can tell you why season 3 went to hell. It's because they
Yeah.
overused that stupid female.
Oh, Bo Katan.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
stand that actress.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she was bad, but like she like
I never liked her. I can't stand her. I haven't liked her since clear back at Battlestar Galactica. I think she's an ugly, talentless hack.
Yeah. And also I think the fact too, they like season 2 was peak. They brought back Luke Skywalker, what we want to see. We had Star Wars Theory Cry.
I'm ready to go to bed.
We saw.
All right, Cinnabon. Maybe we'll try to talk about Star Trek tomorrow. Anyway,
sorry, Deej. My bad, brother.
You have lots
anyway.
lots of time. Cinnabon, you have lots of time because I didn't stay on the game too late, so it's still day 41 morning.
Okay.
Deej,
good.
My brother,
you will.
My bad, man. My bad. I did not.
All right. I'm tired anyway. I gotta go to bed. See you later.
Yeah, Deej, my bad, man.
I know you're one track mind. You're all Star Wars.
Yeah, my bad, dude. I did not mean to do that.
Bad Tim.
If you
bad
want
Tim.
talk,
I got a video now. I got a video just for you because you were bad, Tim.
You're a dickhead, man. Whatever, dude. Whatever. No, bro. If you want to play anything Star Trek, man, I'll be here. And so whatever. It's your show. My bad.
I think I've made my point clear. It sucked tonight. They broke canon again. Fuck Star Trek.
Yeah. No, can you expand on that? What's going on with that?
This is my last late night, middle of the night review of this series because I'm done with it. I'm not watching it, staying up late anymore to do this shit.
Okay.
The whole thing was in the original series, Khan and the eugenics war happened in 1992. He is not a freaking kid in 2023. He's already off the planet in the Botany Bay in hypersleep, flying away from Earth. Hello, Tommy.
What up, Tommy? How's it going with the guinea pigs, man? I hope it's all right.
And I have another stream to do tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? What's going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow we got our big Battle of the Horde night on 7 Days to Die with some of us been playing together. And it's my day to stream it. And I've built the base, and there's no way anybody should die unless they climb outside of the base or they just stick their face where they shouldn't.
Uh-oh.
It's not tomorrow to me, Thomas, because I haven't been asleep yet.
Hear that, Tommy? He's coming for you. All your guinea pigs.
I'm not going for the guinea pigs and Tommy. I'm going after the zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it was good streaming, man. No, I want to talk to you candid about cosplay and other things. Like I'm gonna do interview channel, and I want you on at some point, and we're gonna talk about like some of the things we talked about tonight. But then we're also going to talk about like cosplay because I know you're a cosplayer.
I'm not a cosplayer. I just put on a couple of outfits that people sent me for money. That's it. I don't do cosplay.
You can doubt it all you want, but you're a cosplayer.
I'm not a furry. I'm not a cosplayer. I just do it. If they come up with the 1700, I'll put on the freaking Leia Slave bikini. But that's the only damn way I'm going to do it.
Oh no! Who is investing in like putting 1700? How much money?
Stephen Walton's been promoting this thing that he's trying to get me to wear the damn Leia Slave bikini.
One of my good friends. So, how close are you?
Oh, they're lacking. I think they've only barely got it to $400. It's not going anywhere fast.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll have you on soon. I do want to get you on. You're homie G, and that's why I showed up tonight because I didn't want you to close this down by yourself. So you've helped me out. I love you. You're a great person in the community. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves you, Deej. So
Everybody does except for my haters, but they're fun to,
who are your haters, though? I want to know who are
they're long gone because I ban them and they can't come back, and I don't have to deal with them.
Okay.
That's how you deal with trolls. You just ban them and don't talk about them. Don't even air their names or nothing. And they get bored and go away because they're not getting any recognition.
Right on, man. Do you do? I love you 3000, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get ready to go to bed because it's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, in Dathomir it's like midnight. But thanks for having me on.
No problem, Tim.
Yeah.
Now that I can recognize what last name this is, since you changed on me from Tim's talk. Now I won't let you sit below trying to wonder who the hell you are.
Whatever, dude. You can reach me anytime. Deej is one of my homie G's. Tommy, I know him pretty well. And even it was one of my really good friends. He actually has my number. So hit me up anytime. So, Deej, you're one of my homie G's. That's why I showed up tonight, man. I appreciate you showing up on my stream. So I think the thing is with community, pay it forward. It's not, it's not whatever they say, but it's just like paying it forward. And sometimes, there'll be someone that'll be there for you.
And Arabic, right? Arabic, you don't need to remind me if there's an Ewok elder named Deej.
Stephen Walton is my homie G. He has my number, by the way. But anyways, yeah, man, you're my homie G. I showed up tonight because you've always supported me, and I'll always be there for you. That's it.
No problem, Jim. Okay, folks, that's wrapping up this stream because I went way longer than I thought because,
That's what she said.
Yeah, she said. She said that I went longer than she thought and she couldn't hang out. We will be back streaming later in the afternoon with 7 Days to Die. And other than that, it's time to get fired because, well, that's what happens to me.
Am I fired again? Yeah, you're fucking absolutely fired. All your promotions are redacted. Like, dude, why would you have to fuck yourself like that? Why? You're clipping all this shit, aren't you? You're gonna have a fucking montage of all the times I said you were right, said you were wrong, said you were fired, said you were rehired, said you were promoted during this live. You're gonna have them all and play them on your channel, aren't you? Well, you've absolutely been fired again because you're an asshole. You're fired from talking to me and being my friend and being on my channel. Get the hell out of here. Go on, go on, get the hell out of here.